The holder of the path. Object 7 of 538. A key, a supply closet. That's all they give you. And when you open that door, you are no longer in any building, any city, any world you recognize. There is a path suspended in a void, and things live at the edges of it. Things that have never had names, because nothing that could name them has ever survived the encounter. Walk carefully, darling. This is Object 7. In any city, in any country, go to any mental institution or halfway house you can get yourself to. When you reach the front desk, ask to visit someone who calls himself the holder of the path. The worker there will try his best to keep a look of indifference on his face while handing you a key, which, as he will explain, belongs to an unused supply closet in the building. If only it were that simple. Upon locating and unlocking the correct door, you will find yourself staring out onto a narrow, winding road suspended in an endless void, the sight only occasionally obstructed by the massive outlines of things best left undescribed. To fall off the path is to be thrown out of reality itself. A nightmarish eternity of inconceivable horror awaits anyone who either stumbles into the void by their own error or is dragged off the path by the timeless monstrosities that reside on the outskirts of creation. If you should ever feel as if you are being watched while traveling through this piece of oblivion, the best chance you have is to immediately freeze in place and hold your breath. Continue to do so until your audience either loses interest or moves in to claim you. If the latter should occur, feel free to scream as hard as you want, though your screams will fall on deaf ears. At the end of the path lies a door that leads to a small, dirt-caked room. Propped up against the room's far wall is a heavily emaciated corpse. What's left of its skin has long since blackened with necrosis. Approach it and ask one question. How did they acquire guardians? In response to your query, the corpse will begin to stir. A subtle red glow will emanate from its eye sockets as it lifts its head and begins to whisper the long and macabre history of the holders. It will speak of unholy pacts and unspeakable atrocities. Within time, its tale will touch upon every form of evil known to man or God, and a few forms that neither can comprehend. Furthermore, if told the title of any holder, the corpse will reveal that holder's history and the meaning of the object that it protects. Well, almost any holder. The holder of the path will never go into detail about itself. This is because the ghoul hopes that you will not question why it seems to be lacking an object. Truth be told, the ominous glow from within the ghoul's eye sockets is actually the shining light of the object that was somehow sealed inside of its skull. That is, Object 7 of 538. Its holder will do anything to keep you away from it. It hides its own secret inside its skull. It tells you everything you want to know about every other holder, and hopes desperately that you won't think to ask about itself. There's something almost pitiful about that. A creature of ancient evil trying to misdirect you with knowledge of every other horror just to protect the one secret sealed inside its own rotting head. But here's what keeps me awake. If it knows everything about the other holders, what does it know about you? What did it see when you walked through that void and it watched you from the dark? Walk carefully, loves. Something out there at the edge of reality may still be watching. That's tonight's story. Another object. They must never come together. Thank you for staying with me. If this one appeals to you, like this video and comment below. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story. I will see you soon. Sleep carefully. The next story will be waiting.